Michael Thomas obviously got the goal that really mattered, but if you hadn't scored before then, there'd be a very different chapter in that history book, wouldn't there?
The ref had basically said, Lee Dixon asked him how long to go, and he went, it's over, Dicko, it's done, nearly. There wasn't a clock at Anfield then, was there? And so he didn't know how long was left.
They must have been rattled as well.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I thought at that stage, the whisk could go at any second. I've got to turn in one motion, take a chance with my touch. And, people say it's a cliche, it all went into slow motion.
Looks like Xavi! Rooney! Aguero!
The joy of football.
Well, Anfield 1989, this is unforgettable, and Michael Thomas obviously got the goal that really mattered, but if you hadn't scored before then, there'd be a very different chapter in that history book, wouldn't there?
Yeah, it's a privilege to, people remind you of it, and to think you took part and took a big part in that game when there's never going to be another one like it. Obviously, the circumstances with Hills, but our game against Liverpool should have been in the April, so it was put to the end of the season, it was put to the Friday night after everybody had finished. I mean, the Premier League would never allow that now, would they? They'd never allow it. So big TV audience of about 17 million or something for this straight shootout between the two teams at the top. Winner takes all. So it was amazing circumstances. We just travelled up on the day.
That is amazing when you look back on it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we always used to, I think, for night games, we'd get up there, have some lunch and have a couple of hours in the hotel, and that's exactly what we did. Came down. George Graham gave a great team talk in the hotel after tea and toast, and then another one in the dressing room, and just concentrated on the fact that we had to keep a clean sheet. And we always thought, well, no, we've got to get 2 goals, boss. You know what you're talking about. But he said, no, if we keep a clean sheet, we're always in this. We're always in it. And that's why he was happy at half time when we'd hardly had a shot on goal. But he said, no, it's going perfectly to plan, lads. We just need to push on a bit now, and we'll get that first, then we'll get the second. And I don't know if he really had that much faith, but obviously that's how it turned out. And when I got the first from the free kick, and there was a bit of a kerfuffle, and Liverpool players complaining that I hadn't touched it, that I was offside, whatever. And I felt sure he was going to disallow it because they had some big characters, didn't they? Steve McMahon and Ronnie Whelan and Alan Hansen and that, blaring in the ref's ear. But he said he gave it, and it was an amazing moment, and then you're thinking, wow, we've just got to get 1 goal now. So it was possible then. And
did it really click into possibility, not, we've done something, we're getting there, but you really believed that they must have been rattled as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The volume in the ground, went up because the Liverpool fans were trying to, urge their players to give more than that. And we didn't have many chances, but Mickey had one chance 10 minutes before he got the winning goal, which he toe poked straight to Grobbelaar. But then there wasn't a clock at Anfield then, was there? And so he didn't know how long was left. You're always asking the ref, and then the bench hand signals to tell you 5 minutes, 4 minutes. And the ref had basically said, Lee Dixon asked him how long to go, and he went, it's over, Dicko, it's done, nearly. And then the ball got back to John Lukic, who threw it out to Lee, which was amazing, really, under the circumstances, not to hoof it up towards me. And Lee just naturally found me in the channel. And I thought at that stage, the whisk could go at any second. I've got to turn in one motion, take a chance with my touch, because he had fizzed it in. Luckily, my touch was a good one, and I saw this yellow blur in my peripheral vision, Mickey making a barnstorming run, and I just tried to help it into his path, which I managed to do. But, of course, he got a break of the ball off Steve Nicol, and then all of a sudden he's through. And, people say it's a cliche, it all went into slow motion. But it did seem that way at the time because there's these red shirts converging on him. And Mickey never did anything before he wanted to do it. He was the most stubborn man in the world and so laid back. And he just wanted to wait for Grobbelaar to make his move before he flicked it. And Ray Houghton always said I was millimetres away from getting a touch. And I could have fouled you, but I didn't want to give away a penalty because I thought you were going to miss the chance. But, when that went in, And then Liverpool had one more attack, and then John Lukic did punt it up, and I thought, if I stop Alan Hansen from getting a clean header on this, we've won the league. And I just got a little graze of the ball, and then the whistle went. So yeah, it was an amazing night. Amazing.
From being a long shot really in a 2-horse race, but a long shot at 0-0.
Yeah.
For it to unfold like that. I mean, it must have taken a long time for it to really sink in.
Yeah, I mean, Merce always says, Paul Merson, we were 16-1 against, these were the days when he knew the odds. He knew the odds. In a 2-horse race, 16-1 against these some odds. But I think somebody in the dressing room did say, lads, we might as well pack up now because it's never going to get any better than this. How can anything surpass it? So, I suppose everyone would agree with that. And it goes into folklore, really, doesn't it? That kind of match. Everybody knows where they were. Football fans, they don't have to support Arsenal or Liverpool. Most people of that age remember where they were, what they were doing. So, it was an honour, really, to be involved in it.
As mentioned before, we're giving away some copies of FIFA, signed by Alan and myself. For your chance to win, click the link in the description for our giveaway on Instagram, or visit our Patreon to enter the raffle there. All the information you need is down below.